All right, this video is going to show you how to do the holes assignment. This is just a demonstration of the process. Of course, you would have to put a 1-inch border around your entire paper before you start drawing this project. I'm just going to show you the process of drawing 1 layer, 2 layers, and then 3 layers. You will have to figure out the 4th one on your own because it is a summative. I want you to have something that to figure out on your own. So you start with large organic shapes. Let your imagination go with where they are. You can just be free with it as you wish. After you have the first set of large organic shapes, this represents the first layer. Notice these lines here in between. I'm going to refer to them as bridges. So sometimes I'll say you don't want to cross the bridge. So with these large organic shapes, you're going to shade them with a very light coat of graphite. So it's going to be like on that 5 scale value, you're going to do a number 1. Here would be the number 1 on your value scale. You're going to do the first layer with that number 1 value shading. So you'll begin shading on the inside of that organic shape. It looks like a blob. So the little organic blob, if you want to call it that. And my goal is to try to get that number 1 value on that shape. And I start on the edge and I'm going to work my way toward the center because the center might not get, it might fade as it goes to the center. That looks quite interesting. So you might want to do that. Notice I'm trying to use the side of the pencil so that I can add the most value onto it, the most markings on it as I can. If you use the tip of the pencil, you get a very thin marking. So I'm going to try to use the side of the pencil. Once you have all the pencil on it that you want, then you can take a little piece of paper towel and blend it in small circles away from the edge. Small circles away from the edge, just like this. And you want to try to make it as even as smooth as possible so you don't have these pencil marks. These pencil marks are not good. Those diagonal hard marks, we want it as smooth as possible. We're trying to have good craftsmanship and take care and patience with our work. So you would continue that for all the other layer 1 shapes on your paper. If you go out of the line, let's say you smudge a little messily and it gets out of the line right there, you have to take an eraser and clean that up right away so you don't get confused and it doesn't become a habit. Okay, so you will finish the other blobs and then I'll show you how to do layer 2. Okay, so now I have all of the number 1 values placed in the layer 1 holes. Next, I'm going to add layer 2. When you're adding layer 2, you're still going to make holes, but you're not going to cross over any of these bridges. We're counting the outside as a bridge as well. We're not crossing over any of those. So it's just like making blobs. So you just make it. When you get to a bridge, you skip over it. Then you make another one. Just like you did on layer 1, except you don't cross over any of these bridges. So it looks like it's just underneath. So I'll continue making these and show you when it's done. So now I have everything laid out for layer 2. Now for layer 2, I'm going to try to shade it with a number 2 value. So I'm going to try to go a little bit darker. So here's the value chart again. So I'm going for this, going for darker than the first one. So I'm going to start going in not as hard as possible, but just a little bit firmer than that first layer. And I'm not going to cover over any of the bridges. I'm going to skip over the bridge and add that darker value to it. Smudging it and adding the rest of it into layer 2 is going to come in the next video, so stay tuned.